And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Wednesday, December 1st. And man, what a kick off to December. We woke up this morning, stocks were higher, showing maybe we're going to see a good start to the month. Not quite the case. Everything kind of turned around as soon as Omicron hit the United States border. There are confirmed cases now in California of the new variant of COVID-19. So you've got that going on. You've got the hawkish stance of the Fed, according to Powell the other day. Obviously, maybe things will change if they go forward here. But you got the stock market really turning negative quite a bit, to say the least. Sorry, one thing. Just got to tweak my quote board there. So you've got these markets that were, S&P up pretty heavily, Dow up pretty heavily, NASDAQ up pretty heavily. Now, huge downside move. S&P went from up a point or 1.5% to down 1.5%. So these markets really are moving across the board. So you got crude oil opens up this morning on a little dip from the overnight rally. That market ends up makes an attempt to push a little higher. Does not go make new highs over yesterday's overnight high or last night's overnight high. That market rotates back inside, comes down through settlement price all the way down to yesterday's regular trading hour low. Like we said, S&Ps this morning opened up, started an initial move higher. Case the information about Omicron comes out and COVID. Instant fear or concerns. I don't want to say fear yet. This is just one initial move. Instant concerns, and people start peeling it off and hitting the sell button. Moves that market down from 4640 all the way down to 4500. Big downside move there, so 140 points. Even then, you've got the NASDAQ. NASDAQ opens up this morning just like S&Ps. Makes an initial move higher. Checks overnight highs. News comes out. That market goes from 16,400 down to 15,830, where we're at right now, continuing to make lows. Gold, now this is what's going to be the interesting one. Gold is still rather quiet, opened up a little higher and in a consolidation area. That consolidation became rejected that market lower, and has struggled to make it down to settlement price, but is grinding its way down there. Settlement over there was 17. Whoops, got the wrong month on that one. There we go. Settlement price there was $1776.50, and that market is about $5 up above that right now. So making its move down to the downside. Euro stays inside. After John spoke this morning, it came and checked overnight highs, rotated right back to settlement price, and hasn't done anything from there. And then the 10-year note, you've got these concerns out there. 10-year note is grinding higher. So that market is pressing higher quite a bit. So that's the main stuff going on here. I think that's the big thing you got to think about is what's going to happen with this new virus or variant of the virus. What's it going to lead to? I think that's the big thing. We got to be thinking about that stuff. Not from a personal standpoint, but also from a financial standpoint. If we're trading in these, how is it going to have an effect on these markets? Whether you stand wherever you stand in the aisle when it comes to how you think, governments and things like that should react to this, you got to think about how's the market going to react to this, and take my personal opinion away from how I think it should be handled. I got to think about how the market's going to react, and that's where we have to come in here. That's why we're trading it. You have to be as completely unbiased as possible to really be able to put the best effort forward. Let's go and take a look at our charts here and see what we got going on here today. As always, we're starting with our crude oil, and like we said, crude oil opened up this morning at the overnight highs, or just shy of the overnight highs. opens up this morning after a little bit of relief. This market was showing really nice trend to the upside. And here's what we were talking about yesterday in Coach's Playbook. We're talking about these moving averages, right? How moving averages are beneficial. This is the weighted moving average here. All right, we're on a 20 period. This market opens up, and over all night long, every time it pulled down to it, you got an opportunity. And when you're in a trend trade, you're in a trending market, that's where opportunities present. And then prior to market open, we opened up away from it. We started to see the market rotate back towards. As soon as the market rotates back towards our moving averages, that's when we can say, hey, here's an opportunity to execute a trade, right? Now you got to take your stance on that if you're going to go long or short here. But to me, you're looking at this as an opportunity to short. We're trading below our moving average. Look for rejection as the market approaches that moving average. That really was the opportunity today. Reject, rotate lower, and see if you can get maybe point of control check down here or settlement price down here at 66.18. Where are we at? Here we go, 66.18 settlement price right down here. I was reading my numbers wrong. 66.18 is settlement price, so you got a great opportunity. You're seeing a little bit of relief. Good chance pulling back to our moving average. Opportunity, all right, we can sell this. We can short this market and see if we can get the market to close the gap to settlement price. And let's just say you get in right up here about 68.50, and you've got settlement price all the way down here at 66.18. You've got some great targets down below. If you're not going to make it all the way down there, you've got almost $1.50 or $1.30 move down to point of control. Really great opportunity in this market off the open here after that initial move higher to take the short and rotate this thing back inside. Really a great opportunity there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. And look, here's the thing. Today, you're trading fundamentally. News comes out, find your shorts. I don't think there's much arguing there. I don't think there's much debate there. We can sit here and talk the technicals of this market. We can say, hey, market opens up, pushes towards yesterday's swing high and breaks from there. Well, the break was strictly 100% based off of economic news here today. Now, this is a third major sell-off we have seen in quite some time. This one helps because we were in the overnight, we were low to high. So we had a good rally in the overnight session to give that back, so it didn't turn into this major 3-4% down day. Rather, we're trading down now 1.3%, which we have settlement price down here at 45.66 quarter, 45.66 quarter settlement price was all the way down here. So that market was up quite a bit, almost it was about 85 points up this morning, gave all of that back and then some. So big sell-off here today, all based off of economic events and news. And the same thing's going to apply here in the NASDAQ. Really, the thing is, if you're trading these markets and this news comes out and you are inclined to want to jump in on that trade, everything still applies, right? Asymmetric opportunity, looking for markets to show a little relief in that move. In this case, we're looking for a little upside tick in a downside move. How you're doing that? Well, you got to start watching order flow and price action, watching how that market's moving, recognizing where it's struggling to go make new highs, even on a little shorter time frame. It's going to help kind of recognize that. Then you're able to take those shorts and make the move to the downside. Or you've got an opportunity right here, like we saw today. This market really struggled to accept inside of value from yesterday. As soon as we see this market accepting inside value, that's going to be a chance to take the short. All right, but at the end of the day, this was a full fundamental news based off of, or move based off of the news. That's what we saw. We can sit here and say the same thing about this. We rejected overnight high. We had essentially a triple top. We had a double top in the overnight session. We tripled it here, regular trading hours, rotated inside. If that news doesn't come out, do we think this market continues to go make a new high? Potentially. But we've got one swing, 2, 3, and now 4 swing highs up here. We're going to call it approximately 16,420. 16,420 has been extremely rejective in this market. All right, next, where's my mouse? Let's go ahead and take a look at our gold market. Gold, like we said, opened up this morning. Settlement price is $1776.50. $1776.50 right down here. Here's our settlement price. Now, here's what we recognize this morning. Market tried. It tried all morning to establish a new high over last night's overnight high. Again, we've got our moving average here. Market's trading below it. Our 200 period moving average. Market's trading below it. Continuously rejecting, continuously rejecting, continuously rejection. Now, when we're looking at this from a technical standpoint, we start to recognize this market, as it presses higher, is attracting zero buyers, right? We're seeing those quick little lifts, but it pulls back right away. So you got no long-term trade in here. You've got people just taking little bits out, not attracting bigger buyers. Eventually, that market's going to roll back over and look to find a new price where it can attract more buyers. That's what we had here today. We start to recognize that. We're not bringing in big volume. Market's struggling to make new highs. Look for rotation back to the inside, and we get a nice rotation back inside. Don't make it down to settlement price like we said, or point of control, which was right down here at settlement price itself. So we got two targets down below. Market struggled to make it down there, but hey, now we've got an unchecked point of control and regular trading hours down here at 1776.50. Let's keep an eye on that here in the overnight session into tomorrow. Next, let's go ahead and look at the euro. So like we said, euro channels, defined ranges. Checks overnight high, falls just shy of point of control. Checks overnight high off the open, which opens up near, how about that? 1, 2, 3, and now 4 checks right down here at 13. Let's call it 113.13. We got 4 checks at the same price. Market bounced off of. Market opens up right there. Great chance to say, hey, let's go ahead and take the long off the open, see if we got an opportunity. Let's say we missed that move. All right, we got to start to look for market's rotation back to the inside. We're trading still inside. We haven't made it to point of control. We never made it to value high. So we're not seeing any sort of upside breakout move here. We're looking, where's this market going to rotate inside? Rotates inside just shy of overnight high. You guys know me. I love my overnight levels. To me, they're extremely important levels to keep an eye on. Market rotates back inside and goes and checks that 113.13 once again. Next, let's go ahead and look at that 10-year note, and we'll get on out of here. Settlement price in the 10-year note is 130. 130.26 even. 130.26 even. All the way right up here, which happens to be yesterday's settlement price, or point of control. So you got settlement and point of control, the same level. You've got fear going on in these equity markets. After the open, right? Open rotates lower, pushes to yesterday's value low, getting closer to that overnight swing low. The news comes out and fundamentally says this market's got to go higher. Fear out there, flight to quality. You got a little bit of fear in the equity markets. Money transitions pretty quickly into the bond market. Bond market takes off, moves right through point of control and settlement price, and does a really nice low to high through yesterday's value. So some good opportunity across the board here in these markets. See a bunch of comments. I want to say hello to everyone. Brian, good to see you. Jorg, good afternoon. Fire sell in the NASDAQ. Absolutely. 3 lights, good to see you. PK, Vince, Daryl, Brody, Mo, David, yes, some good vibes. So you ready to go? Go short on NASDAQ and S&P. As long as that continues, that'll work. I was going to take an ES short at 46.47 half. 46.47 half. I mean, that would have been a absolutely phenomenal trade there, Vince. That was a 20 period on that WMA there. Nick, good to see you. Oh yeah, thanks for chiming in there. Yeah, 20 period. Most everything I do is 20 period. I do run some 200s, some 50s, but I'm pretty loyal to my 20. Nice there, helps me out quite a bit, so I do watch that 200 on the gold. Yeah, gold, yawn as usual. It's tough. There's not much to say when that market moves, $8 from high to low. It's a struggle day. 3 lines, yep. Jamie, I think we will have 2 down days for every 1 up. We'll see if that plays out. I think I froze. If I didn't, hopefully we're good. All right, and December is seasonally the second worst month for SPY. September is the first. I doubt we have many more days like this. Well, history is one thing. I don't base my decision making and my trading based off of what's happened historically during certain months. Every month is a little bit different. Every October, they want to talk about how October is a struggle month, and then sometimes it's a great month. We have major economic fears out there right now. To say we're not going to have any more of these days, I'm hard pressed to say that. I am, focused on what can happen with the new major variant coming through during travel season, during holidays, supply chain issues, potential more cities shutting down. That can all happen rather quickly. We saw last time when COVID first hit, we saw a very slow move to shut down. It started in January. We didn't really have shutdowns till March. They might be quicker to react on all of that, and that could really send these markets way low. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at everything. Bitcoin down today, $57,080 over there in our Bitcoin. Our Airbnb down here, just like everything else, $163.08. AMC, $28.57. GameStop, we are comfortably below that 200 mark, $179.84. Tesla, $1,095. Robinhood continues to crumble, $23.93. Rivian, $115.69 in the VIX, skyrocketing, 32, back up. Alfred, please explain POC. Point of control. Point of control is the highest traded price or most volume traded at a specific price for a period selected. It's a pretty simple one there. If they lock us down, the Fed will print, though. Fed is extremely hawkish right now. They are peeling back all of this stimulus stuff that they've been doing. So they got a major 180 to do if they're going to try and start printing. We got inflation as high as it is. The Feds, they start printing more money. That's going to send inflation even higher. If they're going to try and control inflation, you got asset easing. You've got this tapering. They're putting themselves in a pretty tough spot right now if they, try to make too many changes here or start printing it again. But, it'll be interesting. Let's kind of review this. It's December 1st. The first day we're back after the new year is going to be January 3rd. So on January 3rd, Theodore, let's talk about it. Let's see what happens over this month. Obviously, we'll talk about it each and every day, but as of January 3rd, let's do a little hindsight, a little look back at what happened over December, because, that's a full month. A lot can happen in this month. We could see these markets rip to new highs. We can see them send us into, recession territory. So there's a lot of things that can happen. I'm kind of curious. So let's do a little retro on January 3rd in the recap there. All right, guys, before I forget, it is Wednesday. We have, let me double check something. Okay, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow, jobless claims. That's going to be the big one. Keep an eye on that. And then don't forget, Friday, unemployment number will be coming out on Friday. So last things to touch on here, this date in history. Got one of them, 1913, Ford's assembly line started rolling. So this day in 1913, Ford's assembly line started going. Yes, Theodore, it is definitely some exciting times. I'm not betting against the Fed, but they have so much more to print. That is for sure, Federico. All right, guys, I'm going to sign on out. John's back. If you tuned into the forecast this morning, you saw him. If not, make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. Central Time for the market forecast. So until then, stay safe. Wash your hands. Trade smart. Trade well. Look forward to see you guys in the markets. Take care.